Oh, it is hard to get the timing right on that. I either started too early and we get the end of the cutscene, or I started too late and we cut into the middle of the voiceover. Hello, this is Dr. J. Back with some more Let's Play Wizardry Labyrinth of Lost Souls. Starting by hitting the wrong button. Classic. Okay. So I'm actually going to do a thing that I've talked about doing. I'm going to start out by checking the bestiary, which I think is in the album. Both because the flavor text for some of the monsters is really interesting, and so we can check up on what element some of them are. If this is something that doesn't interest you in the slightest, then feel free to skip ahead in the video. But we're going to start this video checking out the bestiary a bit. So human-type enemies, we've encountered witches, using the lowest level black magics. This group of female bandits, they're female bandits. Makes a living off taking money from adventurers. They're intelligent and can be reasoned with, but their life is a hard one and they put their survival above all else. Adventurers who find them to be particularly difficult should spend some time honing their skills, if not rethink their career choice. Okay, so I guess the game is telling us that the witch is weak. No element. Okay, some of them do have an element, like the priestess is holy type. Fighters, once adventurers themselves, these bandits, okay, also bandits, have lost their ways, deciding to set a questing for the betterment of the kingdom. They can make money by simply taking it from other adventurers, not particularly experienced or powerful themselves. I debate that. They can hit like a truck. Pose little threat to the average adventurer. That's nonsense. Alright, the priestess is holy type. In service to the dark gods, well then why are they holy type? Come on, game. Consistency. Once servants of Avril and the pantheon of the overworld, they began following the heretic gods of the ancient pagan texts and were excommunicated from the church. They use low-level holy magic to keep their raiding parties healthy. And they also provide some frontline combat ability. Mage, inexperienced opportunistic magic users who join bands of raiders. Okay, so all these adventurers we're encountering are bandits. That makes sense. So you guild adventurers as enemies and attack with low-level offensive magic. Also no element. Skipping over a bunch. Berserkers. Common mistake to believe that because they do not wear any armor, they would be easy to defeat, provided the one could get in a good hit. The amazing control over their own chi. Okay, I don't normally think of berserkers as chi masters, but sure. Create powerful physical barriers as strong as any suit of armor. Be careful of their fists, which they have honed to be able to crush even... You know, this sounds like the description of a martial artist, not a berserker. But whatever. Bishop, holy type. Holy men from the Grand Council of Quopati. They once served the gods, but have fallen in their hubris and lust for wealth. They may not have access to all magics, but they are forced to be reckoned with nonetheless. If you encounter one of the high bishops within the Labyrinth, it is suggested you take measures to stop their spellcasting before all else. Good advice. Okay, at least the Dark Crusader is dark element. I'd have been perplexed if that were not true. Falling completely into darkness and insanity, living only for combat and attacking anyone and everyone they encounter. Theorize that they have lost all faith in their gods and act now only in their lust for battle, or perhaps have allowed themselves to be possessed by demons. They are completely insane. Fight or flight are the only options when dealing with them. You know, it would be kind of cool if there was a berserker class in this game. I feel like the selection of classes is pretty good, and I'm not unhappy with it, but being able to make a berserker would be pretty interesting. Alas, we cannot. A ninja. Originating from a clan of warriors who train in a land far to the east as assassins known as ninja. These warriors have long since lost their cultural traditions. All that remains of their heritage is a powerful set of combat skills, devoid of honor and discipline. They use a bare-handed technique that can easily behead I don't think you behead people with your bare hands, game. Come on. And their inhuman speed allows them to easily avoid physical attacks. Well, it is a fantasy game. Basically what it's telling us is they can instant death us. Musashi. Musashi basically being shorthand for really tough samurai. I think probably a reference to Miyamoto Musashi, famous undefeated duelist of the Edo era, if I have that right. Similar to the title Hayate among the ninja, Musashi is the title given to the highest of the samurai order. Okay, so I got at least part of that right. Discarding armor, they favor a typhoon-like destructive rush of attacks with two blades, which has been known to destroy entire parties of adventurers in mere moments. Only the greatest of their kind gain the title of Musashi. Why would such a highly regarded warrior be within a dungeon so far from their homeland? I'm questioned more about why we have rocks in the dungeon, personally. Okay, Mora is under undead. That's interesting. Undead Goblin, Dark type. This perversion of nature is the husk of a slain goblin having been revived by unholy magics, perhaps a result of some feral instinct. They appear to have more awareness than zombies, effectively wielding weapons. They are readily available in the Labyrinth, making good disposable foot soldiers. They have a stench that suffices to drive away weak stomach adventurers. So are these all dark element? Haven't I used Holy against some of these and it did like nothing? Isn't Holy supposed to be effective against dark, or am I not remembering right? I swear that's the case. Oh well, let's just keep reading. Grave Mist. The evil energy in the Labyrinth seems loath to even release the spirits of those given proper burials. Grave Mist is to trap souls of adventurers lost to the deep dungeons, continuing their futile search for glory beyond the grave. They have awareness of their spiritual form, often attempting to take over the bodies of living adventurers. Skellies. Reanimated remains of adventurers that died within the walls of the Labyrinth. The evil magics that permeate the halls of the dungeon seem to return a small amount of vitality and combat sense to the skeletal adventurer. And the lack of hardening, putrefied flesh allows a wide range of movement. You'd think the lack of muscles would be an obstacle, but no, you'd be wrong. You would be wrong. It doesn't tell us what items they drop. We can see how their stats grow with level, which is interesting. Zombie, reanimated corpse brought to life by evil magics, with only the basis of lore functions remaining. Quenching of a primal hunger. Zombification is contagious. An adventurer killed by a zombie will eventually rise as one themselves, allowing the zombie population to continually replenish itself. The other thing preventing them from overwhelming the dungeon is that the continued decomposition renders the zombie immobile and useless within 3 months of rising. Vampire Bat, mutated flying rodents preying on human-sized opponents with razor-sharp teeth and a habit of biting through both flesh and bone. They thirst for blood, although they do hunt smaller fauna. For a second I thought that said found. They need a constant supply of blood to retain tension in their wings in order to fly. It is said that the blood-red eyes of the Banshee cry for those they are going to kill. Evidence points to them being originally some form of fey creature, but their immortality and need to sustain themselves with life energy of their mortal prey has classified them as a form of the undying. Mummy is a form of undead creature, desiccated and well preserved, wrapped in ceremonial bandages. It is assumed to be unintentional, but the thick burial shroud is effective armor for these undead. I question that. I don't think bandages would be very effective armor. Below their muscles have long since decayed, they display similar speed to magically reanimated skeletons. The culture that mummifies these creatures has long since disappeared, so as their number decreases, it is becoming more and more rare to spot one in the Labyrinth. Okay, so the jam is an undead, as expected. Looks like some kind of weird headless thing. Curious group of animated statue creatures. Well, that sounds more like a construct than an undead. Wander to the depths of the Labyrinth. The largest distinguishing feature of the jam is that they were carved with no heads, and it seems that these self-aware creatures travel the dungeon searching for suitable heads for themselves. So is the blood on top of it like it grabbing organic heads and trying to mash them onto its neck and crushing them in the process? Because that's quite gruesome. Giant zombie. This abomination is a result of a twisted magical experiment in combining bodies, making partially sentient and extremely powerful oversized zombies. Supernatural strength allows them to tear apart shields like paper and punch holes in the strongest armor. Putrid breath, which is highly toxic, can wipe out entire parties in seconds. Mora, I was thinking was a doll, but no, she's some kind of undead. Oh, it's a vampire. This breed of vampire is particularly dangerous, mainly for its unthreatening appearance. I don't know, I see that and I'm immediately terrified. Although they appear as young girls, they are motionless undead that feed from the blood of the hearts extracted from the chests of men asphyxiated in their sleep. Lovely. That they have no emotions whatsoever makes them even more dangerous than their still partially human vampire kid. I mean, I don't know. That sounds like some of my ex-girlfriends. Alright. There's only 4 fairy types. Good grief. Alright, we've encountered 2 of them. Pixie. They're dual-wielding spears. Standing at about 20 to 40 centimeters, with wings like dragonflies or butterflies, they live primarily in areas heavy in flora and seem to favor green clothing. Then why are they in the dungeon? There is no flora in the dungeon. Some are very adept in spellcasting and employ guerrilla warfare within forests and wetlands to take out threats that endanger their lands. It's even said that entire parties of knights have been driven off with a well-coordinated pixie attack. Why are they in the dungeon? The game doesn't even acknowledge that that is strange. So they're holy and trolls are dark. There's much debate on whether these creatures are fey, undead, or giant origin. The arguments range from does not die regardless of damage taken, extremely large and favors blunt weapons, and lives with and protects fairies. To the average adventurer, however, what is important about the troll is that it attacks without hesitation. Scholarly debate is rarely important in these situations. Also, because they are a fairy type, the game has told us they are a type of fae. Thank you, game. Animal, killer wolf. These are mostly nil element, I'm gonna guess. Okay, no seam storm is water, which is odd. Vorpal bunny is dark. Why would a rock be earth? That would explain why when I was hitting it with earth element, it was not effective. I don't understand how that makes sense, but sure. Wolf is heralded in many of the ancient pagan religions of the area as a powerful mountain god, as evidenced by their enormous size, which could easily serve as a mount for 3 adults. Good grief, that's quite a wolf. These feral wolves have gained a taste for human flesh, however, and bear little to no resemblance to the benevolent creatures of legend. Traveling in packs, they hunt their prey and can easily kill inexperienced adventurers with numbers alone. Scorpion. The fact that these large scorpions continue to exist within the dungeon without being much affected by the permeating dark magics is a testament to their extremely effective poison. Their hard carapace also makes it difficult for light blows to damage them whatsoever. The stinger at the end of their tails has been dubbed the agony trigger, referring to the near unbearable pain that it causes before the sweet embrace of death for those unlucky enough to be stung by it. No seam swarm. This monster flies in such great numbers it is folly to even bother counting. It seems that these strange insects possess a hive mind that coordinates and allows them to attack as one. Conventional attacks cause only minor damage, killing only a small part of the swarm and leaving many to flood in and continue their painful stinging assault. Vorpal bunny appearing as a stuffed rabbit, it is easy to forget that this harmless-looking creature is as much a dangerous monster as any grotesque creature you may encounter in the Labyrinth. While there are many variants, sharp teeth that easily penetrate armor are relatively common, and they seem to have a penchant for beheadings. Giant mantis. At a height of 2 meters, it is not so much larger than the average human, but its brutal sickle-like claws are used to behead its opponents with ease. With a light, thin insect carapace, it flies quickly about the labyrinth and can be something of a nuisance. However, thanks to its strange custom of the female eating the male after mating, the population is mercifully small. Rock. The most distinguishing feature of this creature is its unbelievable size. In the open, they fly comfortably close to the stratosphere and can dive suddenly through the sky and grab creatures as large as an elephant in the blink of an eye. With a wingspan of 100 meters, so it's like over 300 feet or larger, and counting one of these creatures in the labyrinth is a sight to behold. I would think so! That also sounds like a thing that is not possible. Game. What are you even talking about? Alright, this is kind of taking a while, so rather than reading every single one right now, all the flavor text, let's just look through the elements. Okay, so beast refers to lycanthropes, and they all have no element. We've encountered no legends. For dragons, we've only encountered dragonlings, which are fire. For giants, we've encountered air, fire, frost, cyclops, and poison giant. Earth, none. Water, fire. Oh, air is... Why is air giant not wind element? The heck? Spirit is holy. Okay, that makes sense, because we've hit them with holy damage, and it does, like, nothing. Jinn is lightning. Okay. Okay, I guess there isn't an air element in this game, is there? It's lightning, not air. Evil Eye is nil. Nil, nil, nil. Okay. So creature means, like, monstrosity. Okay. Or aberration. Well, there's a lot of demons, and we've only encountered one, the Imp. And they're a dark element, as you'd expect. Monster... Okay, some of these categories seem oddly named. Water and Earth. Spectre? The heck? Why are these specters? That doesn't even make sense. This has to be a mistranslation, right? These aren't specters. These are like demi-humans, or humanoids. Anyway, nil for orc, dark for goblins, nil for kobolds, arbitrary. Alright, we might read the flavor text of some more of these later, but we're already 15 minutes into the video, so I think that's enough of that for now. Let's actually do some adventuring, shall we? Into Sheen's dungeon. We are still hitting the wrong button, first of all. Good grief. Fumbling like crazy. But what I actually was going to say is we're still trying to find, not the demon statue, we found that. Oh my god, I've forgotten. What was the other thing? We were looking for something else here in the dungeon. Ancient Scroll, that's what it was. Good grief. Okay. Isn't Cecily is closer to a level at this point? If I'm remembering right. So if we're going to use anybody's mana points, it makes sense to use hers. Level 6 will be next. And these should be the stairs down. Let's get our music going. Was this the one I wanted to use? I think it might not have been. No, this is the one I'm using now. I'll try and pick creepier and more ominous ones as we get deeper into the dungeon. I can't bring up... Yes, I can. I was going to say I can't bring up the map here, but I just hit the button and nothing happened. And then I hit it again and it did bring it up. So is this where we'll finally find the Ancient Scroll? Oh, my buffs. Good grief. Especially levitation. We never want to go around without that on. Hey, we have 8 slots on the 3rd tier pre-spells for Cecily now. That's pretty good. It's battle time. Web spinner, that's a horror show. Kill it. We've also been thinking about whether we want to class change Radar into another bishop and put Izumi on the front lines. We need to see how much more powerful Radar is now that he's using a great sword. Okay, Magic Wall's standing up very nicely. Why did I have him huge shield if I'm Magic Walling? That was dumb. We're not going to be able to test his power that way. Okay, let's see. Okay, 160 damage is respectable. No, it was Valorous who was close to a level, not Cecily. I completely misremembered. Oh well. Now it's Cecily who's closer to a level. So yeah, if Radar can consistently do damage like that, keeping him on the front line for now may be a good idea. I'm still leaning toward turning him into a bishop eventually. Oh, this is new. Will-O-Wisps. Kind of thinking him over Valorous because I'm really starting to see the value of the magical enhancement. By the way, can I actually use the Fire Wand? Item. Lets me just select any of these. I don't even know what that means. Try using the Fire Wand, see what happens. Oh! Wow! I wonder if it can break. If it can't break, then it's an incredible item. Because it just hit the enemy with multiple fire attacks without having to spend a mana point. That's incredible. Like, if I can just do that all the time, Valorous's usefulness has just skyrocketed. I mean, he's useful anyway. He has great utility magic, and that Knell Burst is an incredible nuke. But that just gives him greater baseline usefulness as opposed to only being situationally useful. But the question is whether it can break, and I don't know. We'll just use it over and over again, and if it breaks, we'll know that that can happen to wands. And in that case, they're useless. Basically. But I'm glad I finally remembered to try that. It broke. Okay. Question answered immediately. Wands are useless. Okay, understood. Well, now he has no weapon. It's not like he really needs one very much anyway. Although he was getting a couple stat boosts off of that thing, I think, so that's unfortunate. Now we know. Who do I want to assassinate? I don't even know. Maybe the giant zombies. Man, that's a shame. If a wand could just... Okay, that's the problem with AoEs. They break right through those magic walls. I kind of wish that a wand really could just be used to cast, not like a powerful spell, that would be overpowered, but just a halfway decent baseline spell, just kind of over and over, without a chance of breaking, because then a wand would be a really cool and useful piece of equipment, and a good way to give mages some just baseline combat usefulness that they're lacking without that. So that feels like a lost opportunity to make wands suck so much that you use it and then it's just gone. Let's say la vie. Not that big a deal. We now know that about wands, and if we find another one, we know whatever utility it has comes purely from whatever stats you get off of it. Okay, a lone web spinner. I don't think I'm too scared of this thing. Everyone just kill it. Except Cecily. Cecily is basically going to be magic walling almost all the time. Occasionally she'll be wanting to cast spells instead, but she is our portable shield now, essentially, or barrier. There. Rearranging things around my chair a little bit. Primarily making my drink more accessible. Triple Berry Breezer Bubbler is my drink of the moment. This is not a sponsored video. We got anti-magicked. Oh, but didn't they say that the Ancient Scroll is going to be in an anti-magic zone, so... Oh! About that. You found an archaic-looking treasure chest. It seems a magic seal has been placed on the box. Do you want to open the box? Yes. Opening the box, you find an old scroll. There is no title written on the scroll, but you feel an evil power emanating from the paper itself. This is most likely the ancient scroll you were asked to find. Receive the ancient scroll. Oh, that's awesome. Uh-oh. You hear a sound like an echoing heartbeat. Is it time for a boss battle? Looking at the ancient scroll, you notice that it is pulsating with veins like that of a leaf. In response to the pulsating sound, the sound of footsteps close in on the adventurers. Suddenly, someone attacks! Oh, it's boss battle time! Exciting. Okay. Oh, this is just ordinary enemies. Well, that's a letdown. I think we're going to annihilate them. I'll play boss battle music anyway, because the music is incredible. This music, of course, being the boss battle music from Class of Heroes 2. And it's so good. Why am I having Valor's focus? He can't cast spells from an anti-magic zone. There, might have been a little loud. You know what, who cares? It's so good I don't care if the music's a little loud. Well, Izumi got caught. Just attack then. Valrus literally has nothing he can do, but... Oh well, he can just stand around looking cool. Dang AoEs! Oh, so there's a new line for us. Boku wa kono tedo de kushimasen. Or kuchimasen. One or the other. Either way, what it means is... kuchiru means like to rot away. It basically means to die, but with a little bit more nuance. Kono tedo de means from just this. And boku is one of Japanese's many first-person pronouns, which is ordinarily a soft-sounding masculine pronoun, but when used by a young female is simultaneously tomboyish and cutesy. And so that's apparently Izumi uses boku, and so boku wa kono tedo de kuchimasen essentially means I'm not going to perish from just this. There you go. There's your Japanese lesson of the day. Nice work, Rakia. Okay, I mean, it might not have been a really difficult boss battle, but it hasn't been a complete walk in the park. We took some damage. Wow, and they're surviving a fair amount of attacks from us. We did it. Good job, team. Did that really deserve the boss battle music? Not really, but I just wanted an excuse to play it. And it was a special battle, so... Is this interference from a believer in the pagan gods? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, now that we're out of the anti-magic zone, let's throw some heals around. Oh yeah, I think it's only Cecily who knows the lower level... Yeah, healing aura. Lower level group heal. Now let's get some buffs going again. I really ought to buy some more magic torches. They're useful for being able to light up the labyrinth without having to use up that spell slot. I'm running low. I didn't think that we would find it that fast. That's exciting. We could return... Oh, did I save? I don't remember if I saved. I don't think I did. We could return to town right now and turn in that quest, but I want to finish exploring the 6th floor first and then do that. As long as we're here, we might as well, right? Oh, these are new. Lesser Demon. They look kind of cool. They remind me of a four-armed gargoyle from D&D. I think that famously appeared in Tomb of Horrors, if I remember right. Magic Wall. Oof. Ow. Okay. Magic Wall did eventually go down. It took some hits for us. Maybe we should have Radar huge shield. So these would probably be Dark Element, I would imagine. But Valrus doesn't know holy attacks, so he'll just Flame Field them. Reasonably effective. But not as effective as Rakia. Okay, that was dangerous. A Thunder Scroll, which we'll probably just sell. Although now that I think about it, those do have utility in anti-magic zones. I assume they can be used in anti-magic zones. In fact, maybe they're specifically just called anti-spell instead of anti-magic in general, just to indicate it's only spells you can't use. If so, that's actually some good specificity that I was kind of glossing over. And grief, what attacks me now? A single web spinner. Come on, am I a joke to you? Get out of here. What were you thinking? What was the outcome you were expecting? Just a dead end, apparently. Oh, what the heck? Dragon zombie. Looks like it. I'm struggling to click back in my window. I mean, I am clicking in it, but it's not accepting it as the... the thing that's focused. Very annoying. Reflex action. The odd walls blocked the damage. Wow, does it have its own version of Magic Wall? Well, I have my own counters for that. That was not much damage, Izumi. It just tried to grapple hail me. It's dead. That was an interesting enemy. Oh, that was a one-way door. How about that? Oh, they're staring at us. They attack us! We play the battle music after all. Alright, kick is so Sogeki then. You swine. Ah, that magic wall is so good. It really does feel like huge wall is not that necessary with it, especially if it was replaced with another magic wall, because they do stack. It's not like it's redundant and casting two magic walls is the same as one. No, if you do it twice, it's more powerful. But for now, Radar is doing just fine as a lord, so I don't feel in a big hurry to class change him. But yeah, there's a good chance I'm going to at some point. A chest. Okay, so there's different types of chests. There's wooden, iron, silver, probably gold. And I think the better quality chest, the better type of gear you can get out of it. And I think this is abusable. I think if you leave and search again, the type of the chest can change. Although, yes, I don't know if bronze is better or worse than iron, though. I'm honestly not sure. And I got kind of tired of getting utter garbage over and over again. Shoes and daggers. I was probably just getting wooden chests every time. I'm going to assume iron has a chance of having decent loot. Alright, sword and a tool. But yeah, I may slightly abuse that to get better loot. Okay, longsword -5 is junk as a weapon, but we can sell it for a decent amount probably. Give the vulnerary to Valrus. I am sure that silver is better than either iron or bronze, but I'm actually not sure if iron or bronze is the better type of chest. I should probably look that up. Couple of undead giants. The problem is they can use Poison Breath, which is an AoE, and that can easily overcome the magic wall, and also not be blocked by huge shield. Or they can just die, that's also an option. We found the portcullis. Little wisps. The magic wall has fallen. Let's say attack Ridge with the power of a god. Nice damage. Nice work, Rakia. Man, when I look at comments on what, I don't know, you might call the Wizardry community, such as it exists, about this game, people seem to kind of run down fighters and say Samurai is the god class. I don't think I agree. That trick attack is incredible. And Rakia seems to me like a much more of a powerhouse than Ridge. That might partially just be their equipment, but I'm not at all convinced. The Samurais are just straight up better than fighters. I get that Sogeki Hamon no Jin as a endlessly spammable AoE attack is sexy, but the damage it does isn't that great, really. Oops. And it's not that versatile because it becomes fairly useless if you're only attacking one or two enemies. Whereas Trick Attack is useful no matter if you're attacking one enemy or several. If you're attacking one enemy, they all eat those Trick Attack attacks and take a huge pile of damage. And if you're fighting several enemies, then it kind of serves kind of like Sogeki Hamon no Jin, in that it can hit multiple of them, only every hit does full damage. Now granted, you do have to spend a turn charging up to use Trick Attack, but even then, it's really good. Gas Dragon sounds kind of gross. Actually, I could have put up the Magic Shield because it also stacks from turn to turn. So I could have put it up this turn and then strengthened it the following turn. Oh well. Too late now, and I don't think it's gonna matter. Nope. Not with Izumi assassinating it. Am I feeling lazy enough to warp? Nah. Oh, a Banshee. Except this time it's just a random opponent. Hopefully it doesn't kill us all with a Banshee Whale. Nope, we just killed it. Oops. Come on, I brought up the menu. That's why I hit down. Stupid menu didn't come up. Stupid window isn't focusing. Grr. Computers. Dead. A treasure chest. Bronze. Reaper's Sickle. There was no trap. She was wrong. Plate and shoes. So we can get decent stuff out of both iron and bronze, apparently. Ring mail +2. Not bad. Magic torch. I've made fun of the magic torches, but honestly, as we kind of just showed, they have a use. Being able to light up the labyrinth without using a valuable spell slot. What's everybody wearing at this point? Ring mail +4 and plate. So ring mail +2 is not better for anybody who's capable of wearing it. We'll sell it then. Or keep it for trade. A dead end, and I think that's a shock wall. No, it's not. I misread it. Oh, which way now? A lot of directions we could go. It's like I said, we're exploring a tesseract with this non-Euclidean geometry. Oh, what the heck is going on now? Suddenly the ancient scroll flashes with red light. Drawn to the infernal light source, a bloodthirsty presence approaches the adventurers. It is time for another fixed encounter. Suddenly the party is attacked. Oh good, I get to play my favorite music again. Alright. This looks like a pathetic fight. We'll take it seriously anyway. Nice dodge, Cecily. Dude, I mean, Rock is such a killing machine, it's unreal! Don't tell me Trick Attack isn't good. Trick Attack is amazing. Fighters are amazing. It seems as if the ancient scroll is sobbing. That's really creepy, actually. That's some really effective, creepy storytelling there. I like that a lot. Are we just going to get randomly attacked as long as we're carrying this around, then? Okay. Actually, I should Sogeki them. Also, I need to adjust my volume. Nope, not like that. Not like that. Gosh dang it. It's so hard to be precise with it. I really need to get a better music player than VLC. Gosh. It's so dead. This thing is dead 20 times over. Yep. Did I see something spinning off in that direction? I do. I definitely do. Aha! It's a control switch. Oh! I just stumbled right into that. The adventurers noticed something odd about the ancient scroll. You can hear tortured moaning. Moans like a pained creature echo through the halls. As if called forth by the moaning voice, a bloodthirsty presence approaches the adventurers. Suddenly, the party is attacked! I wonder if it's eventually going to become something really nasty. This looks like it could be a dangerous group. They're only level 11, but we don't know what level the Moras are. Okay, that was fine. Okay, the Moras are only level 10. I don't think we really need to fear this very much. I can see how if your entire front line was samurai with good weapons, that would be a lot of AoE power that you could put out non-stop. That is certainly true. Awesome. So yeah, I have a feeling that's just going to keep happening as long as we're carrying this scroll around. Which honestly just makes this exploration even cooler. I bet we can take it out before a single turn ends. We could take it out with a single attack. What am I even talking about? Well, for Rakia, 31 hit points. That is a good level. That is a save-worthy level. And by the way, our characters' stats will eventually hit a cap, which is based on their race. And at that point, they're just going to vacillate between losing and gaining those stats. But they're never going to be able to increase past their cap. Some of our stats have probably already reached that point. I don't think it actually takes all that long for it to happen. Oh! Here we go again. You hear a sound like an echoing heartbeat. Okay, now it's starting to repeat the flavor text, which is awesome. Awesome flavor text. But if it's repeating, I don't think that we're building up to any kind of a climax or anything. Okay, yeah, and it's just regular groups of enemies. It doesn't seem to be anything too scary. And honestly, this is cool, but all these extra fights, although they're good for leveling, are also going to make the exploration take forever, so I'm of two minds whether to just leave at this point, despite what I was saying earlier. Oh, Rakia the Killing Machine. This is good for power leveling. You hear a scornful laugh from the Ancient Scroll. Okay, that time it laughed instead of weeping at us. Ridge got decent hit points that time, didn't he? What was it, 29? I was only half paying attention. Stealth mitts. And garbage shoes -1. What's these stealth mitts? Special defense plus, improve agility. Dodge 4, defense 3. That sounds amazing. Usable by Thief, Ninja, and Bishop. So first thought is that goes on Izumi. Unless the fairy gloves are better. Okay, they give dodge 9. They are better. Okay. In that case, the stealth mitts will go on Cecily, who will also benefit from them. Because she's not even wearing gloves? Not even wearing gloves. Well, she is now, and they're pretty good gloves, too. Awesome. Like I said, I'm kind of debating whether to continue exploring with the Ancient Scroll constantly summoning monsters on us. Tell you what, since we're now 48 minutes into the episode, I'm sorry that the first 15 minutes was reading monster descriptions. I thought it was interesting. Hopefully you did too, but I mean, it's not that hard to just skip over the beginning of the video if you didn't care about that. But since the video's getting long, let's go ahead and skedaddle. We're out of here. Okay, let's turn our music back on. Alright, let's turn this quest in. Who was it who wanted this? Do we turn it in at the guild? Present it to Buzz, yeah. Alright, Buzz, we've got something for you. Yeah, I mean, it was constantly summoning monsters on us, and they would start weeping or laughing, or pulse with leaf-like veins. It's pretty creepy. We were just touching it, Buzz. You just made me very worried, Buzz. Oh, I forgot that it was a 50,000 G quest. That's amazing. Compare that to what that stingy jerk Iron Hand gave us. For something that was nearly as difficult. Did we unlock any new quests? We sure did. 2 of them. Lost and found. Sister Samantha, I'm searching for an item I've lost. Since the information is confidential, I'll explain more at the temple. Okay, sounds good. And how about lost and found? Oh, that's the one we just took. Sorry, stranded in the dungeon is what I meant. We're not sure if he went insane or was just drunk, but on local mobility. Oh, the king's cousin wandered into the labyrinth. Not a single one of the Duke's entourage have any combat experience. Well, that seems like a big oversight. I don't think someone as important as a Duke would want bodyguards or something. Yeah, I kinda might. Grand Chamberlain Klaus. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's chat up our quest givers then. So, Samantha? Okay, that's not what I meant to do. This is what I meant to do. Okay. Charlatan, posing as a scholar, entered our temple and absconded with one of the pagan texts. Entrance of Sheen's dungeon. Okay. Oh, and they were working together with a succubus. Okay. You have anything else to tell us about this quest? No. Alright. Off to the palace. We finally have something new to talk about here. What a genius. They're all dead, aren't they? What a bunch of idiots. That's true. Kudos to the game for actually acknowledging that we have the power to bring people back from the dead, so story dead and mechanical dead are not completely separate things. Am I going to get paid for this? Because if I'm not going to get paid for this, I don't really care to go rescue a bunch of idiot drunk nobles who got themselves killed because they're stupid. You have anything else to tell us? Oh, that's very useful to know. 4th floor. Okay. That should help a lot. Alright. Cool. We turned in a major quest and got a couple of new ones. That's good progress. Wow, we're closing in on an hour, but let's see about getting some logistics done before we call it an episode. Let's do some selling. What do we definitely not need? You know, I say things like this could be useful in an anti-magic zone, but it takes up an inventory slot, and it's not like it would be that effective anyway. Let's just sell it. Ditto for this. Ditto for this. I don't think anybody's trading for ring mail at the guild, right? I really need to clear some of these off in order to get new ones to appear. Here we go, trade. Circlet, Amulet, Claymore, Iron Helm, Iron Helm. I still haven't found an Iron Helm. I do have a Feather Cap, but I'm not giving that up for a Mace. Not a chance. These are fairly awful trades. Okay, well if no one wants ring mail, we sell it. How much are we up to now? Oh, 411,000. We're starting to close in on finally being able to afford that black attire. Still holding on to that warp scroll for emergencies. Oh wow. So if I were to sell that black robe, we'd get up to 491,000? Wow. We're almost in striking distance of being able to afford that. But let's go ahead and hang on to that for now. Anybody have anything new to say to us now that we have advanced the plot? Iron Hand doesn't. He's still just insulting us. How about you, Maria? Oh, she actually is saying something new. We're getting famous. How about this? Okay, not this, though. This is not new. Oops. Is anybody hurt? Yes. People are down slightly. Cecily, take care of that. Everybody is now full. Good. Izumi's nearly got a level. Valorous is pretty close too. So Cecily. A lot of party members pretty close to another level. Let's just real quick see if Buzz has anything new to say to us. Buzz is not at the temple. Why would Buzz ever be at the temple? He doesn't seem like the type. Then again, he does get quests from Sister Samantha, so I don't know. Well, he does have new things to say. Look at how famous we're becoming. Now those deep level quests that we took at the very beginning would have made a lot more sense if we took them now. Because everybody was saying, oh, you're such a pro, how about this newbie adventurer? Fiore, I think was her name. Fame usually does attract the wrong sort of attention. That's not a very good joke, Buzz. Also, it's probably not actually a joke. Okay. Sweet. We're actually making progress. We made some serious progress this episode in terms of advancing the plot. So, what are we going to do next episode? The obvious thing to do would be to enter Sheen's dungeon again, and, excuse me, rearranging myself here, and continue completing quests, because we can probably knock out both of the next quests in one go. Or we could explore deeper into the Dungeon of Trials, or we could even start exploring the deep levels. A lot of options, and we'll figure out exactly what it is we want to do in the next episode. I'll see you then.